Okay, Lord Solomon, over here. Did not imagine that your preparations were proceeding so briskly, Lord Francel. I might wonder if they're not proceeding too hastily. Yet, at the same time, one cannot help but be impressed. You're too kind, my lord. Pleased to say that the Featherfall markets are nigh ready to open. Truly, we could not have accomplished this without you. Nor you, Archon. No mighty siblings, my associates, and all in Ishgard and the Three Nations have expended efforts on our behalf. Without all of you, the loftiest dreams to rebuild the Firmament would have gone for naught. Thank you, my friends. I will not forget your kindness and generosity for the rest of my days. Nay, 'tis I who owes you thanks, Lord Francel. Traveling with you has done much to open my eyes, and I am not too prideful to admit it. Really? You're not? I hope to lead House Durandar into a new age of prosperity. There's much I must yet learn about the world outside Ishgard, a world to which I have been blind for far too long. Intentionally so? In return for helping me to learn this lesson, allow me to offer you some parting advice. You have accomplished much here already, but do not rest on your laurels, for the greatest challenges are yet to come. Thank you, my lord. Pray rest assured that I have no intention of shirking my duties. As more and more people flock to the firmament to hawk their wares and ply their trades, my ability to manage affairs here will be tested like never before. I will indeed. Yet I suspect you're up to the task. Still, should you ever find yourself over your head, do not hesitate to call upon House Durandar. And with that, I should be off. Archon, might you have a moment to spare afterwards? There is a matter on which I would seek your counsel. I, too, should be getting back to the many tasks at hand. Till we meet again, my friends. Actually would not have minded if the lad remained with us a little while longer, but oh well. In any event, the matter I wish to discuss with you concerns the broom. If you are not otherwise occupied, I should very much like to hear your thoughts. Magicked prisms. Thank you for entertaining my request. There is another I believe would be keen to hear what you have to say. You shall be arriving anon. Archon, the Count mentioned there was someone he wished to introduce me, but I did not expect it to be you. Nah, Quirrell is a pretty regular. It's a redeem for FF14, or a tag for FF14. I play on the Quirrell server. I should have surmised that the two of you are already acquainted. Archon accompanied Lord Francel and I on our trade delegation to the Three Nations, which I dare say would not have been nearly as successful as it was without his insight. Since returning home, I have been pondering many a matter. Long as House Durandar stood at the fore and done its sworn duty to protect our countrymen from heretics in the Horde. But Ishgard now enters a new era. In these changing times, how must House Durandar adapt to best serve our fair nation? This is the question that most occupies my thoughts of late. Nah, Quirrells are a cat, like species in the Final Fantasy universe. As our nation turns its eyes to the outside world, I would once more look within. Osterndare shall see that our nation thrives as never before, and every Ishgardian is able to reap the benefits of peace and prosperity. I'm not sure what to say, my lord. Clearly your journey has had quite an effect on you. Needless to say, I wholeheartedly agree with your notable aim, and promise to offer whatever aid is in my power to offer. My knights, as well, are searching for ways in which they might serve the people now that their blades are no longer needed. Should you lack for manpower, you need but say the word. Very good. I would first task them with carrying out some long overdue restorations of the broom, which unfortunately remains in a most sorry state. But it will not suffice to physically rebuild the city. Now, for our citizens to truly prosper, we'll need a steady flow of goods and services. A healthy economy is the lifeblood of any nation, after all. To that end, I also intend to put Stormblud's fleet of airships to use in shuttling materials to and from far-off lands. You rode on one of our vessels yourself when you aided us in reclaiming the Stone Vigil, did you not? You'll forever have my gratitude for your efforts that day. In any event, we'll have need of pilots and machinists, and in far greater numbers than we have now. There are many here who would benefit from learning a trade by which they might earn their keep. You'll recruit these individuals and train them to the best of your abilities. For this, I would enlist the services of a knowledgeable and patient instructor. If there's someone you could recommend, Lord Drillamont? Yes, I do believe I know just the man. He knows our airships inside and out, and has an admirable passion for sharing his craft with those around him. Battle-tested as well. He was the very pilot who served to help us reclaim the Stone Vigil, after all. Sid? Oh, no. His name is Sestivold. Do not let his youth fool you. He's as knowledgeable and reliable as many men twice his age. That said, there is a rub. I've seen neither hide nor hair of him since the war ended. He suffered a wound in his last battle, and I have rumored that he has since fallen on hard times. Many men got a living in the broom these days. It was a most unfortunate situation, and one that does not reflect well on our house or our nation. We must do right by these brave souls. We must do it now. And so I turn to you, Archon. Might I task you with seeking out this Sestivold and relaying my offer? I've already drawn up a contract, but you might deliver it to the man. I would approach the man directly, but our recent forays to the Three Nations has convinced me that when it comes to negotiating with the common folk, you're far more capable than I. Damn straight. Besides, if I am to bring my plans to fruition, there is another whose aid I must petition, and with all haste. Will you do me this favor and speak with Sestivold in my stead? Then I too shall return to Whiterun Front and recruit as many knights as I can for the cause. Would be most appreciated, Lord Drillamont. And with that, I'll take my leave. May your meeting with Sestivold be a fruitful one. Ah, we unlocked quite a few new quests. Time-wise, it seems to make sense to grab these and then move on to the Heaven's Turn. We finished up a stage of them, so now we've got new things unlocked. If it isn't the Savior of Ishgard, the hero who helped us deal with that stray Gala kitten the other day. Could have come at a better time. For reasons I cannot begin to imagine, one of those confounded cats is back. What's more, it appears to have brought its friends. Or so I've been told. As you might imagine, we are at something of a loss as to how to address the situation. The tales I've heard are true. These creatures originally hail from the Sea of Clouds, and some scholars in fact believe them to be a type of void scent. It is enough to send a shiver up a man's spine. Surely you see that we simply cannot allow these baleful creatures to prowl about the firmament as they please. So I beg of you, might you be so kind as to look into the matter and find some way to save us from this formidable fluffy menace? One of my cohorts mentioned that he saw the beast roaming just a ways down the road. And here, take this patch of dried cloud crawler with you. Said the little beast can't resist the scent. So we gotta go wrap up some of these guys. Well, if it isn't the Savior of Ishgard, it is an honor and a pleasure indeed to be graced with your presence. As it just so happened, there was a matter regarding which I was hoping to consult with an esteemed adventurer such as yourself. But I forget my manners. I am called Vistio, and Lord Funsel has tasked me with overseeing the paperwork for new residents here in the firmament. Thanks in no small part due to your selfless efforts on our behalf, countless adventurers, tradesmen, and laborers from across Eorzea have chosen to make this place their home. Now that the Hoarfrost has been completed, we finally have a place to put them all. There is, however, just one rub. We have, at least thus far, lacked a facility to serve the role of the Adventurers Guild that one might find in other nations. A role which will become increasingly vital as our population continues to grow. And so, I have decided to devote this building we stand before to that very purpose. Unfortunately, and I am rather embarrassed to admit this, I'm not entirely clear on precisely what manner of business is conducted as these guilds, and in turn, what sort of structure might best serve that purpose. Pray, enlighten me, friend. What would you say is the defining characteristic of an active, successful adventurers guild? Citizens in need can enlist the adventurer's services. So that is the primary purpose of an adventurers guild. Adventurers that are render assistance efficiently and swiftly, it certainly stands to reason that there needs to be a dedicated venue where they may receive petitions from townsfolk. Thank you, my friend. The insight you have shared with me will no doubt prove insightful and invaluable in transforming this venue into one that will serve all adventurers in the firmament and make them feel at home. If I can impose upon you one last time, might you be willing to speak to some of your peers here in the firmament, see if they could find a generous soul or two who'd be willing to stop by? After all, Adventurers Guild of Adventurers is hardly worth the name. Many thanks, my friend. I have no doubt that as the savior of Ishgard and a fellow adventurer, your words will resonate with them far more than mine ever could. Seems reasonable. So there's what, that, and then a couple of talk to people spots that appear to be on the way, so something you need from me. An adventurer's guild, eh? I've only just arrived from Ul'dah and still learning the lay of the land. Not embarrassed to admit I was hoping there might be a place where I could meet some veteran types and learn a thing or two. Color me interested. Let's try to avoid getting stuck on things. That's alright. Need assistance with something, friend? In that case, I would encourage you to consult with one of my colleagues. If you're but an apprentice here and have little to offer you. What you say? A new gathering place will be opening here in the firmament. This is wonderful news indeed. I relocated here from Limsa to learn a new trade, but I must admit that I find myself feeling a touch homesick at times. I was hoping there might be a place I could mingle with travelers and hear the latest tales and tidings from my homeland. I must visit it at once. Okay, so speak to 2 out of 3 adventurers complete. Where's my arrow? Ah, okay. You don't need to worry about that. I don't exactly super advertise it. And the YouTube it's just a VOD account. You're not going to see anything on there that's not been played on stream. Though I really should get back to recording some more of the Garden Paws solo play I was working on. Oh, it's you again. Have you heard? All sorts of merchants and craftsmen from across the realm have come to Featherfall. We're just going to head over there to see for ourselves. You should come with us. It'll be so exciting. This isn't supposed to be exciting, Pyroquel. As outsiders are the competition. We're going to scout them out. Let's get going now. I think I forgot to record Mel saying moist. I should go back into the VOD and rectify that, and then immediately feature it, because I have that ability. Oh, okay. It's always a pleasure to see you here in the firmament. I'm certain you'll agree that the place is feeling livelier and more cultured than ever, is it not? Truly, we could have never hoped to accomplish this without the help of our preeminent skybuilder. Truly, I have not the words to express the depths of my gratitude. Recently, I have had occasion to take the briefest of respites from my daily duties and reflect upon the reconstruction efforts as a whole, and in doing so, my mind often returns to Melanine's words that day. An ever-growing number of Ishgardians now make their residence in the firmament. Its markets bustle with customers and exotic wares from across the realm. What more could be needed? The answer was clear. A place where those who live and ply their trades here can leave behind their worries and cares, indulge in the finer pleasures of life. Yes, the newly completed Rising Song Quarter shall be precisely that. I would like nothing more than for you to be the first to walk its streets with me. If, of course, you have no more pressing commitment at the moment. Splendid. Then let us first make for Sir Vandro's grace. I think that you, too, will be keen to lay your eyes on the location which I believe to be the pride of the firmament. So we've grabbed all of new round. We got an adventurer to speak to. But as an Archon, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. What brings you to the firmament today? They mean to build an adventurers guild here in Featherfall, you say? I do believe I speak for everyone when I say this is a most welcome development indeed. After all, it has been rather tedious going from door to door every day, asking the town people if they had any tasks requiring an adventurer's expertise. If there's nothing I can do to see that if there's anything I can do to see that the new facility is a rousing success, I'm more than happy to do it. Ad starting soon. TM. Okay, there's the ad. I'll be right. I'll be right back. I mean, we can at least. I'll just hand in this stuff just to clear out things in my log, because my log's at 22 out of 30 right now, and that is closing in on full. So let's jump up here. Can't jump over that wall? Rude. Ah, there you are, friend. I'm pleased to inform you that a number of your peers have already graced us with their presence. This place is starting to feel more and more like an honest-to-goodness adventurers guild with every moment. Rest assured that I'll do everything in my power to see that this place flourishes into a home away from home for all adventurers who visit the Holy See. Pray forgive me for imposing upon the esteemed savior of Ishgard such a trivial task. But you have done a great service today. Whenever you incline to grace us with your presence, our doors will always be open. Whee! This is amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything like any of these things before. We could fashion some eye-catching wares of arms. I do believe we could earn good coin here. Whatever shall we do, sister? Indeed. What's the matter? You're looking awfully glum. Oh, hello there. My brother and I heard that traders from around the world had set up shop here in the firmament, so you've come to peruse their wares. What's more, Mother was kind enough to give some extra gil to buy ourselves a special treat. It's one of the most luscious-looking exotic fruit that caught our eye, but sadly, it's just a bit too expensive. Still, we don't want to settle for anything less. Is that all? If you need money, why don't you just earn it? But we do. We make all sorts of things and sell them for good coin. I don't know. Why won't your headache go away? No, aren't you a spirited one? If you're hearting for gil, maybe we could make ourselves a deal. Arse chomp. Kind of deal. A tough negotiator, I see. Here's the story. Boss Chomp. A hunter from the Duranian Forelands, and a good one. A pretty good one, if I do say so myself. I was on my way back to the wilds after dropping off my chocobo. That's when it hit me. It's bleeding cold out there. And I could use myself a new overcoat. I'm not looking for anything fancy, mind you. If it keeps me warm and toasty in the blistering snow and wind, that's fine for me. Reckon any young ones be able to help a hunter out? It's his new name now, though. Sorry. I don't know how many more times we'll see Horse Chomp, but that's his new name. Could we ever? You just watch. We'll up the finest coat you've ever seen before you can bat an eyelash. I refuse, Vamp. Good to hear it. I'll be lingering around the markets for a while still, so you can just bring it on back whenever it's ready. Oh, looks like we have a job to do. Softer roll in Berryfield for me to procure the needed tools. Perhaps you'd like to come along? Zane and Paraquil. I can count on the two of you to get some cloth from old Offshard, right? We have all that we need. Let's meet back here. Alright everyone, let's get back to work. I just look so confused. I'd reckon someone would like you to have more important matters on your plate than tending to children. I suppose I'm not one to talk. Anyway, I imagine you'll be going along to see that they don't get themselves into trouble. Never mind. We'll come back to this next week. I am going to head off and do Heaven's Turn, which starts in Solomon, so